Welcome back to Endure F. Today, we'll be diving into the fascinating world of MySQL and exploring how to return a pivot table output. Pivot tables are powerful tools for analyzing data in a structured and summarized format. If you're ready to unlock valuable insights from your database, let's get started. Before we jump into the code examples, let's quickly understand what pivot tables are. In MySQL, a pivot table reorganizes data by grouping and summarizing it based on specific criteria. It allows you to transform rows into columns and perform aggregations like counting, summing, or averaging on the grouped data. Let me show you an example of what our pivot table output will look like based on the sales table we'll be working with. Here's a snapshot of the expected pivot table. Each row represents a product, and the columns represent different regions. The values in the cells show the total quantity sold for each product in each region. Now, let's see how we can achieve this using MySQL. Let's start with our first code example. Imagine we have a table called sales with columns for product, category, region, and quantity sold. Our goal is to create a pivot table that shows the total quantity sold for each product in each region. In this initial query, we're fetching the data from the sales table. After running this query, we will get the raw data from the sales table. It's important to remember that this is not a pivot table yet. It's the foundation upon which we'll build our pivot table. Now, let's move on to the next step, using conditional statements and aggregate functions to construct our pivot table. In this query, we've applied conditional statements and aggregate functions to calculate the total quantity sold in each region for every product. After executing this query, we'll obtain a result that resembles our pivot table more closely. The data is now grouped by product, and each region's total quantity sold is listed in separate columns. Great! Now, let's consider a more advanced scenario where we may need to incorporate subqueries. In this example, we use a subquery to retrieve a distinct list of products, and then join it with the sales table to calculate the total quantity sold in each region for every product. After executing this query, we'll have the same result as the previous example. However, by using subqueries, we gain more flexibility and control over our pivot table's construction. Finally, we'll wrap up by ensuring our pivot table is correctly structured and ordered. In this final query, we use the group by clause to group the data by product and the order by clause to sort the results based on the product names. After executing this final query, we've achieved our pivot table. Now, we have a clear and concise representation of the total quantity sold for each product in each region. There you have it. You've learned how to return a pivot table output in MySQL step by step. Pivot tables are incredibly valuable tools for data analysis, and now you can leverage them to gain deeper insights into your database. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tutorials like this one. And as always, if you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to leave a comment below. Happy querying, and see you in the next video.